I needed a cool name, I needed a cool name. And Wesley Graham's my name, and I thought Gunman Graham, the Gunman. And it caught on as I started winning fights, as I started boxing.
Only God can protect when I walk and step. How about you want metric? MIS to the T, man known as vex. Me have to make it make sense. If your gal ever vex, she just want sex. Wall her neck, squeeze her breast, allow me soldiers them. Hunter X, 90 degrees, she a point her legs, I make her ball out. She a sprawl out. Me make her ball out.
Gunman Boxing, the baddest boxing channel in the UK. I am Wesley the Gunman Graham.
Sick. So, Gunman, where does that come from? Like, how did the Gunman become Gunman?
Good question. I used to box myself at 11 fights, and I needed a cool name, I needed a cool name. And Wesley Graham's my name, and I thought Gunman Graham, the Gunman. And it caught on as I started winning fights, as I started boxing. People would say, oh, the Gunman's fighting. Have you got your Gunman tickets? Gunman's going to be out again soon. And people, it just caught on. And yeah, since then I was a Gunman.
Where does your love of boxing stem from?
I've been following boxing all my life. I'm a lifelong boxing fan. I was watching boxing when I was 6 years old. Literally sneaking downstairs to watch behind the sofa, watching my old man, watching my dad, watching boxing, watching Eubank Senior and Ben, watching great fighters, Lloyd Hunnigan, Hector Camacho, Mike Tyson. Those are my first memories of boxing, and yeah, I've been following boxing since day dot. How do I come up with I just freestyle, I just go with the flow. I was in sales. As a profession, I've always been in sales, selling advertising, selling media. You got to be quick-witted, you got to be fast, you got to be sharp, you got to make things sound exciting, and yeah, just let it flow, just bounce off of what the person's talking to me about, and just be myself, bring high energy, bring enthusiasm, try and enhance boxing. That's my goal, is to enhance boxing media. So if you're a boxing fan, you see better interviews, better fights happening, a better experience in the sport, and that's what Gunman Boxing stands for. That's what we want to achieve.
Nice. What are your top 3 favorite lines you've ever said, and who are they to?
Oh, now that's a cracker. Listen, I think one of the ones that's been big was with Eddie Hearn when he signed Ben Whittaker, and I said to him, Eddie, this is what a signing this is. Other promoters are moving like Ian Bill, and you're moving like Grant and Phil. And that one's that did big numbers. That one. I've had some real classics with Eddie Hearn. That's probably one of my favourite lines that's come out from the work I've done. But yeah, there's too many. There's too many to remember. There's too many. You know what I mean? It's like asking a rapper his favorite line. It's almost impossible.
Where does the Pepper This Brother line? Go on.
Pepper This Brother. Yeah, well, Pepper This Brother. Listen, one of my first interviews, I said, about a fighter peppering someone like a sirloin steak, and that's how it sort of caught on. Like, look at this guy, he's absolutely peppering this brother like a sirloin steak. And then it's just kind of caught on, that one, that, like seeing people getting seasoned in that ring, and I've kind of have sort of bullet points, if you like it, I think okay, let's talk about food, and it could be like peppering someone or sauteing them in the ring, do you know what I mean? Or marinating them in the middle rounds. Or I can jump to I don't know, American football, and I'll be like, well, look at this style of boxing. It's like 4th down and 10 boxing. Do you know what I mean? He's shooting for the end zone every single punch. So you just jump around different themes. I can just jump around themes and get my ideas off of whatever theme I want to go with. It could be a computer. You know what I mean? Let's say PlayStation. Look at him. He's button bashing in that ring. He's got no control over what he's doing. He's found the Control Alt and X button, and he's just pressing the same buttons and getting the victory that way. So I just kind of just go with the flow, just go off of themes, think about what the person's saying to me and basically address it like that way. Gencore Global, these guys, man, like literally Gencore Global, they're like Chat GPT. They've got all the answers when it comes to your wellness and your health supplements and your requirements. Honestly, follow these guys. You know, proper good products that have been absolutely phenomenal to me. You know, it's been a real game changer for Gunman Boxing. It's great to have a sponsor on that's helping me to drive, you know, helping me to revolutionize British boxing media. Yeah, listen, firstly, not even a plug, the products are wicked. They're products that work, you know, I use them, you know. Regenerate's my one, man. I need sleep, man. I need deep sleep. I'm an energetic guy. I always, like, I swear by it now. It's been like absolutely fantastic for me. But Gencore's really taken us to a new level, you know. The sponsorships allowed the boxing show to grow, our fighters to grow, my media channel to grow. We're able to do more interviews. We're able to travel further to do interviews. It's really been a game changer, and the support has just not been, you know, it's not gone unnoticed. It's been massive, and I think together we can grow and really move to new levels. You know what I mean? We're going to be rising like London house prices. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be exciting times together, and it's really exciting what Gencore are doing, and it's good to be partnered and aligned with someone who's got the same sort of goals and vision as I, you know, which is to rise, to be the best at what we do, and to support others and grow together. Yeah, listen, it's all about community. Like, boxing is a community. Boxing saves more lives than it takes, you know, and there's many people that have struggled and whatnot, and they've gone into boxing and met really, really good people. You know, I've met you through boxing, you know. I've met so many good friends through boxing. I'm 6.5 years sober now as well. So I used to drink, party, and just have fun as any male would do in the UK. But sometimes that spirals out of control. Sometimes, you know, you find yourself, you know, doubting yourself or making mistakes through alcohol or partying or whatever it may be. And boxing for me, it gave me a focus where I've stopped drinking now. I don't drink at all. I focus on business. I'm looking to grow what I'm doing. I'm looking to enhance the experience of the fight fans. So yeah, as I said, boxing, only time I stopped drinking was when I had a fight and I had to train and I had to, like, right, I don't want to get absolutely humiliated. I do not want to get peppered. I don't want to get peppered like a sirloin steak in front of loads of people. So boxing was the only time that I, you know, put health first, off the drink, off the partying, focused, dedicated. And it's been brilliant, and it saves so many people, and the community is so good, you know, in boxing. You meet so many good people in boxing. It's incredible. You trust another man with your life, when, like, your coach, you trust him with your life, with his instructions, the supporters, everyone that comes around you. The community is incredible in boxing. Listen, I'll be honest, boxing shows are headaches to run, you know, they can be absolute headaches to run. On the outside, it looks like a Lamborghini on a show. You know, it looks all slick. It looks like a really good show. You were there. It was absolutely rammed. But of course, you do get teething problems. We get people pull out. We get, you know, some terrible excuses from fighters like, oh, I need to come later, and it delays the show. You know, you do have issues. It's just part of the game. It is just part of boxing. It's, you know, it's not something that is going to go away. We're always going to have issues. But overall, the show's been a massive success. They're doing huge views. We're doing, you know, 4 or 5 million views per show. You know, we've got some exceptional fighters on. We've had 3 shows now. We've had Rants and Bants on. We've had Idris Virgo on. Marco Vitek has fought a few times. We've had Danny Connor, who's a musician, a big musician, who's just been fighting. We've had Tom Malone Jr., a big breakdancer that was on last show. Kells and Misfits heavyweight. The likes of Idris Virgo, the likes of Vidal Riley coming to the show. Swarms came to the last show. Carla Jade, the Misfits champion. So, like, look, overall, we've had teething problems, and no one's blaming anyone, but we have teething problems. We've had teething problems. But overall, the shows are profitable and we're heading in the right direction. And most importantly, we're able to support the fighters. You know, I've got a stable of, I think I've got 10 fighters now that I currently work with. Marco Vittert being the biggest one, you know, like an influencer, major influencer boxing force who's doing superbly. I've got a UK rap star, Stax, who's doing very well as well, coming to make a statement. Money Mirza, a young lightweight champion. He was a Quest champion. He's now got a Gunman title, one of the best in the UK. Dino as well, really exciting, unlicensed fighter, like really good to watch. So much work to do with him, growing him and whatnot. Female fighter called Neil Me. I've got two professional fighters. One's Aaron Prosper. He's fighting on Misfits Pro in July the 18th, which is incredible for an English title. And we've got Emmanuel Zion as well, another professional as well. An amateur fighter, I don't want to miss anyone out. Shimon, this kid is a killer. 7 first-round knockouts in a row in unlicensed boxing and ended up deciding to move into amateurs. He's fighting some top athletes now, really growing well. We've got Luke Palfrey. He's like an 11-belt white-collar champion. 11 belts, so where you get the time to carry 11 belts around. 10, 11 belts. He's got ridiculous punch power. So, yeah, we're just supporting, you know, the fighters, and the aim of what we do is to help fighters move to the next level, give them a platform to showcase their skills, and we sponsor these fighters and help them, you know, with training, with recovery, with Gencore products to help them be a better version of themselves. Being a boxer myself, where you really celebrate when you win, I've never had that feeling again watching when my fighters win. When they win now, I'm actually like, it feels like I'm winning as well. And when I've put so much time, money, energy into these fighters, it's phenomenal to see them succeed. You know, all of them, their following's growing since signing with me. They're getting better fights. They're getting paid more than they've been paid before. So we're moving the fighters in the right direction. And it's great to see my inbox as well. Fighters saying, listen, we want to come and join you. So they know that we're doing something right. We feel like we're the match room of unlicensed management and sponsorship, you know. We're the match room where we've got the best fighters, we've got the best operators, we've got the best media platform, and now we've got one of the biggest influencer boxing shows based in the UK as well. So yeah, it's a great time to be involved in it. It's a really, really good time to be involved in boxing, and what we're doing is game changing. No one else is doing it quite like us.
Where do you see Gunman going to? Like, what's your aspirations? Obviously, right now, you always say you're the Champions League. How do you become the Premier League?
Yeah, well, Champions League is bigger than the Premier League, I think. But listen, Gunman Boxing, the baddest boxing channel in the UK. We need to change that to the baddest boxing channel in the world. And what that means is, hopefully, with, you know, sponsorship help and growth of the shows, that I can start going to fights in America and covering more fights in America, covering more fights in Saudi. I've been to Saudi Arabia once for Canelo versus Crawford press conference, but I need to start going more global and covering bigger fights in Vegas, New York, Saudi, getting a bit more coverage. But you know, I started this mission with, you know, £180 microphone off of Amazon and a dream, and you know, that's all I started with. And I've started, you know, speaking with fighters, started doing face-offs with fighters online, doing Insta Live face-offs. I grew massively through that, collabing fighters, having face-offs, letting them argue with each other. Eventually, I started to get on Matchroom and Queensbury and Misfits and started getting on their media. You know, I've had so many rejections. You know, it's not just been I've just turned up and I could get in. People have had to see my work and enjoy it to allow me in. And you know, I'm just been knocking at the door, hustling away and trying to get, you know, further and progress more and more. And the hope is, you know, to be the biggest, you know, global channel, you know, one of the biggest global channels. That's a dream. And I think for the boxing show, we'd love to take that international. We've got a huge influencer boxing show. We've had 3 shows, all 3 of them are sold out. You know, it's growing beautifully, but yeah, we want to now take it to the next level where the biggest fighters are coming onto our platform.
Off the back of that, what made you start Gunman Boxing? You know, as we see it today, so the media side of things, where you go and interview people. What sparked that?
Well, it was actually during COVID. I was actually boxing. I think I was about 5-1. I think my record at the time was, and someone interviewed me during COVID. on a Zoom interview, and I thought, oh, you know, I like the way he's doing it. That's quite cool. I quite like that. And it always stuck in my head that, do you know what, I might do that a bit better. I mean, he did well, but I thought I could do that better. So it was always in the back of my head, like when I stop boxing, I'm going to interview people. And I decided to just grab some mics and go for it. One day I was like, let's just go for it. And I do this full time now. I do it full time now, and it's, you know, it's hard. And that's why I say, like, you know, the help that Gencore has given me, it's invaluable, because someone like myself, small business, you know, keeping your head above water, you're just knocking on doors, trying to get into interviews, trying to get here, trying to get there. And yeah, you know, without a sponsor like Gencore backing me and pushing me, you know, to be striving to be my best, even things like production, you guys have massively helped me with my production. I'm a presenter. I love presenting. I love just chatting shit on the mic. You know what I mean? I want to be performing lyrical armed robbery. You know, I don't want to be sitting there on CapCut. You know, I don't want to be on CapCut. But you guys have, you know, even just like showing me how to get my production up. You know, we're talking about how we can make the channel look better, and how we can blend and integrate our partnership to make it look better. All that kind of stuff is just invaluable learning for me. And yeah, listen, I got into it. It was just an escape route for me. It was a way of keeping me involved in boxing, because once the boxing comes out of a boxer, a lot of the time there's nowhere to go. It's like, oh, I'm done now. I'm out in the limelight now. But yeah, the channel's kept me involved in boxing, and I'm able to still do what I love doing. Yeah, a lot of people don't like it, man.
Here we are, Gunman, the king of influencer boxing, is sitting in front of us. So how do you deal with that? What's your kind of message to them? What's your take on the whole situation?
Oh, listen, I'm a purist myself. I prefer Riyadh season to Misfits. I would jump up in the middle of the night for, you know, Canelo versus Crawford. I would jump up at 4 in the morning for that fight, but I'm not really going to jump up in the middle of the night for a Misfits like fight. You know, I'm a purist first and foremost. I'm a pure boxing fan, but I think you can't ignore influencer boxing. You can't ignore it. It brings loads of views. It brings new eyeballs to our sport. It's a good thing. You know, the fact that we get more people watching it and watching the sport and supporting the sport, it's a good thing. So people just need to embrace it. And when you see fighters or purists disliking it, they need to also take a leaf out of the influencer book, you know, post more, you know, post training more. There's a reason why some of these guys are doing better than professionals, is because it's all about bums on seats. If you can sell tickets, put bums on seats, get views, you know, that's good currency for a promoter. If you're the best fighter in the world and no one knows about you, you know what I mean? Like, and you're just stuck in like a dark old hole, no one knows about you, you're no good to no one. So that guy needs to get out there, make content, push himself, knock on doors, call people out. You know, that's how you get noticed. And I think professional boxers and purists, they just don't like that. Well, I suppose Misfits Pro, I mean, it's not quite merged, but yeah, they're trying to put more serious boxing on. But I don't think you can really merge the two. There's two different audiences. Influencer boxing's more content creator audience. When you go into professional boxing, you do get fighting men, you know, gypsies, travelers, you know, more fighting men that go to the events. And people that watch Misfits would be more small content creators and all the rest. It's two different audiences, so it's hard to blend them. But never say never. Never say never.